Yeah, well, welcome everybody. It's really good to have you here. Gosh, it feels like it's been a whirlwind 2, 3 weeks, and seeing you here, sitting here with you all, really brings us uh, brings it home for us and brings it all together for us because the moment it all happened, we weren't quite sure what the outcomes would be immediately. We weren't quite sure how bad the earthquake was, how bad it hit our everybody in Manalas and Port-au-Prince and Tutie, but also across the entire country as well. And it was really difficult to get a hold of everybody in the south, the epicenter of the earthquake, because most of our collectors network there don't have phones. And so in the very beginning, it was a lot of a guessing game for the first 24 hours. We were fortunate to know pretty quickly that all of our families in Manalas and Chute were okay. Everybody was scared, obviously, and they were reliving the traumas of the 2010 earthquake, and nobody knew whether or not it was going to get worse and how many aftershocks there were going to be. Folks started sleeping outside, and at the same time, just trying to figure out how bad it really was in the epicenter of the earthquake over those first 24, 48 hours was just impossible. So, the minute we realized that we need to get down there faster, sooner rather than later, it was for me and Ian, it was a proud moment for us to see how many of our team members in Haiti stepped up to the plate to say, put me on that plane and get me down to Lake Kai right now, and let's see what the damages look like there and what we can do as a team. So being here with you guys now feels like a grounding moment for me to rethink and digest what happened over the last 2 weeks, but also really how much we have been able to do with a small crew of 6, but a mighty team of everybody else, thousands of folks from all over the world who came together over the course of the last 2 weeks to ensure that our team in Haiti had, and specifically in Lake Kai, had everything they needed to support the families that we were able to locate, and start to assess and understand what the needs were there.
Yeah, yeah. As many on this call know, but maybe some of you don't, the earthquake zone is tragically difficult to access. So the area that was affected was very difficult to get to by road. So when Viv says, we are proud of the team that stepped up, that was literally to get onto a plane, not to mention during a tropical storm that was about to hit, and make the decision as a crew to say, we are going to go to the heart of this and figure out what's going on. The other part that I think we're all extremely proud of is that several of the people that decided to go are community leaders who've been through our program. Everybody here knows Petron and Mark Noel and Nicole, and they had I mean, if there's no other word for it than bravery to be able to say, we're gonna go and we're gonna help. So to watch the team get on that plane and go was incredible. We have really 2 missions in this. Remember, everybody knows that we are a redevelopment organization, which means we really, our expertise is usually in what happens after a disaster, right? Making sure that people are placed into good, dignified jobs. When these things happen, we do for a time become a recovery organization, and with the sole mission of helping the people that we serve get back to work. So we had 2 goals for this mission, and one was to make sure that the 400 or 500 people that are part of our catchment area in the south were able to get back to work as quickly as possible, and that meant making sure they were healthy and they were under roof. And those assessments are just about finished up, and we've got some answers for y'all there. But then also to ensure that the infrastructure in that area is put back into place so that when those people do go back to work, that they have the services and things that they need in order to live full lives. And for a team of 6, it is impossible to overstate how much has gotten done with that group of people. We were one of the very first teams to access the earthquake zone. We were made up entirely of leaders from Haiti, Haitians. It was not Americans that were going into that zone. And the speed with which they approached the people that we serve and they assessed casualties and had a very clear understanding of what needed to be done, was so quick that I think that Viv and I, and just to call out some members of the team who've been in it, Delaney and Laura and Nelly, and all the people that have been involved, we were almost had trouble keeping up with how quickly they were offering information back to us. So it just cannot be overstated how incredible it was to see the response by this group of people, and what debt of gratitude that we owe them as an organization. The first time this happened, there was none of that, right? 11 years ago, when the earthquake happened, none of Mark Noel knows, and Nicole knows, and those of Pichon who we knew early on, none of that existed. But now this organization exists, and there are people that can do something about it. And that is something that we should be forever grateful for.
And just to introduce the team of 6, I do want to let you guys know how we chose them, or how they stepped up to the plate here, and why they're the ones in Lake High right now. But Escane is our team leader in Haiti, and immediately we knew we needed a leader on the ground that helps us understand what the situation looks like. He and Richardson Antoine, our leader from the First Mouse side, have been working very closely together for the last 2-3 years now, to bring both sides of the organizations together to support more and more collectors. So that was a no-brainer for us to make sure that both of them were there and can help us locate all of the center owners and the collectors network and their families. And then Nicole is our one of our graduates who we supported through nursing school when she was under our program, and is now our health coordinator for all of our work in Port-au-Prince. So we needed somebody with a medical background, and she jumped on board. Petshon is also one of our graduates. He is our construction foreman for all of our construction projects. So we knew that rebuilds and repairs were going to be eminent, and so we asked him if he'd join us, and also to help the team just set up a home base, first and foremost. Which I think the first day under a tropical storm, he ended up holding up all of the poles to the tents overnight, just to make sure everybody had a safe space to stay. And then Mark Noel, not only does he have family in the South, and unfortunately one of them died under the rubble of the earthquake. He also is a community leader in our community, who has a very, very clear and strong understanding of how to build relationships in the community, how to understand the needs of the community, how to bring that information back to us. And then Benoit is our engagement manager. Many of you have seen him on calls before. He's just very, very good at helping all of us from the home, from the US, understand what's going on the ground and connecting us with those stories. So we wanted to make sure he's on board to help us highlight what's going on, and make sure that everybody else gets to continue to do what they do, while he focuses on sharing those stories with us. I know each of them will share a story with you, so I'll hand it back over to Christina.
Yeah, thanks, Benoit. Hey, everyone. I think a lot of you, as I know, most of you here, you know me already. I'm Christy, works program manager based in Haiti. I think Ian and Viv have mostly shared what was it like here in Port, where it was not, the earthquake didn't hit us really bad here, but considering what happened back in 2010, some of our families still experience some flashbacks, and were also scared to get back into their house. So the first couple days were just as hard as it was for like everyone, since as I mentioned, they experienced some flashbacks. So we had the opportunity to make some phone calls to them, making sure that they had everything that they needed in order to go through that situation. And as of like house damage, fortunately, they did not have because of the earthquake, but some of them expressed the need of mental health support, which we allowed them to get through some organizations who are already working here, and they're also providing this service where our families and also our collection network can just give a free phone call and get assistance for that. So after doing the phone calls, we were able to get back with them with the resources that we have and what they can get support from. So and after that, we knew that our programs were still safe to be back and running, since they expressed that they were, after a few days, they expressed that they were okay to just continue. So as of now, we're working on getting our kids back to school. So this will still happen as normal here in September in Port. There'll also be some other decisions for Lekai. I don't know yet, but in Port, everything will still be going on as normal. So we're working on that with our kids. And for all our other programmings, we are working as a team and set the right schedule for everyone to get everything back and running. And for our team in Haiti, they are all into this and willing to support our family members with anything they need, and just to continue the work. And I just want to shout out to Nicole, Petio, and Manuel. They are like good leaders in the community, and I'm really proud of them for stepping up and choosing to go to Lekai, and while everything was still in the process, and just proud of them for doing that.
Yeah, thank you, Benoit. My name is Richardson. I'm the first time impact manager in Haiti, and my work is basically focused on working with the collectors and the center owners. From what perspective, I knew that thing would be really hard on the field for some buildings that I've seen that have collapsed, and other people that I saw on the tents and stuff. But coming in the field, the reality is totally different. And we had the opportunity to go to some areas, some communities where the government is not represented, not even one person who's representing the government. There is any sanitation buildings, there is any infrastructure. Those people are alone. And we had this chance to go to that community and seeing those people living. And they were really surprised to see that in that situation, we were there for them. And they did not really expect that. Even for ourselves, there were some communities that we didn't know, and we were like, okay, Lekai has been hit by the earthquake, but I think we think that it would be only in Lekai, but those communities that are really far away, that media don't know, that you don't see the photos in the media, that you don't see the people, that you don't see the little house that totally collapsed, that those people that we need to touch, and this is what we're doing. I think those people, like when we're talking about collectors, in normal time, a collector is kind of surviving, waking up early, picking up plastic. But imagine that person has lost the only house that he was living. That's the biggest thing that could have happened to a collector that are fighting every day just to put food on the table and a roof over their head. So what struck me is the fact that if we look at if you look at the assessment, we will see that we have more elder people that have been assessed. Imagine we have all these older people collecting plastic. We don't have any support from a relative or maybe a friend or a son, and then that person has lost everything and didn't hope anything from anybody. Yes, there's some help that come, from other organizations. There are some distribution, but these elder people can't go to the line. They can fight with the sworn guys that try to disrupt whether the food or anything that will be delivered to them. But us, the strategy that we're using, we go there, we meet with them. We use a strategy to make sure that we don't attract any damage or any harmful things to them so that they will not feel threatened by people in the community. So we're touching the basic line of our assessment, and we're touching the people that are really in need, because last night we've been about to distribute a food kit to a 77-year-old woman, and she was so excited. And when we visited her, we saw that the little house that she was living in has totally collapsed, and she doesn't know when she's gonna find any help, because I know for herself it will be impossible to get enough money for her to build her house. But she was really excited, and she told us that she didn't know that she was going to eat at night. And just imagine how many nights that woman spent waiting for someone to do something for her. And this is one of our collectors. They matter. So from my perspective, I think that this is the best decision that we have ever made in Haiti. Just the one of the first organization that has our footprint on the field, made it with people really in need, and then touch the people that really need the supplies that we're distributing. We know Nancy is a center owner. She has more than 40 collectors, and we've been able to visit those people, and they're mostly women. And in this kind of situation, women are really vulnerable, and they're alone somehow. So seeing those people keep, it seems like from their testimonies, we're giving hope to them because they did not expect that. And from the assessment again, you can see that when we asked, like, is there any organization that have helped you? There was like, no, we've never found even one that said yes. Just to let you know that for you, the supporters, you are doing something great. Don't really, I know that you might congratulate, the Haitian team, the work team, the first mile team, but I think the hardest thing is when you guys thinking about these women, when you guys thinking about these collectors, when you guys know that you have to put your hands in the face and then trying to support those in needs. I know that they don't know you, they don't know your face, but in our voice of the team, we're telling you that thank you for always being there for them. Thank you for giving your time, your determination, your engagement to support those people, because this is what they need right now. And it's not only food, and the plan that I think Vivian has shared is really important. Yes, for now, those people need food support, which is very, very critical right now. But in the long term, those people like to see that their house has been rebuilt. And I know that you guys are willing to keep continuing supporting this program.
I think we lost Richardson.
These peoples, because they really count on us, and it's gonna be really, really hard for those people to get their life back again. So thank you all for your determination, and as a team, we are here on the field. We're just waiting to moving forward and keep supporting those people.